Warning, we're just having fun. If you take stuff too serious, this channel may not be for you, buddy. Welcome back to the Puddins Fabrication shop. Let me try not to hit nothing here. And we're pulling one mini truck out where we can pull another one in. Guys, around here, I guess it's just been season of the mini truck. Oh, feeling a little peppy. Oh yeah, she is. All right. It's about ready to race that old 5.3 right there. All right, we are back with some more mini truck action. This time, we are back on our Stout. Now, this is a project I kind of started towards the end of last year, and we've been just kind of plucking away on as we can. Most of you have seen it. There's actually quite a bit of videos, but if you don't know, quick rundown. This is like a 67-ish Toyota Stout. We cut everything off the body and we swapped it onto a 92 Toyota Hilux, including cutting out the firewall. So when you look underneath here, you can see the 22 RE, all this stuff, all the suspension, all the interior. She really is a 92. Now we're actually getting pretty close on this. On our last go around, I'd actually done some little rearranging fabrication up in the situation. We relocated the gas tank, cut out some cross members, and we got it ready for some rear suspension to be built. Now, I hate to disappoint you, we're not doing that this go around. Now my parts components I was waiting for, they did come in. So we've got all different kinds of stuff to build some link bars. We're gonna build damn old 3-link with a wishbone up top, baby, put her on some coilovers. Unfortunately, we're not doing that this go around. There's a ton of little piddly stuff underneath this front that's just not done, guys. There's not hardware in everything, which ain't really the biggest problem. The big problem is like that air box. Well, that ain't gonna run, is it? We gotta get that connected. We've got a fan shroud we need to kind of sort out. I don't know we'll figure out a bumper. It could damn sure use one though. Front of that truck's that's one of them faces that only a mother could love, okay? And the biggest problem and thing that's bothering me, and I kind of want to look at, that I discovered last time after we had flipped some ball joints. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but as I kind of bounce on that, that tire is hitting our fender well. In fact, I can't even get my fingertip in there because this truck sits so low relevant to that. We need more than a fingertip of clearance, or we're going to drive this thing and just beat it. When you hit a bump and those front tires stop, go. Well, you go over some railroad tracks, something like that, go. Just telling y'all, it ain't good. So we've got to clearance that out, which ain't fun, because at quick glance, I see our power steering reservoir. I see our coil, which also has our ignition module and all kinds of stuff. And it looks like we're gonna have to move some of that up and cut some of that out and relocate, which was kind of the total opposite purpose of trying to do this build the way we're doing it. But here we are, we can't go back. A ton of loose ends is the goal. Let's get her over here and start tearing into the front. What was rubbing back here? I don't know, probably just the gas tank to the ground. Who designed that? Just pretend like you didn't see that. Terrible design. I bet that goes back to the factory location. And that can't pick up high enough to move that. We're off to a solid start. Apparently I need to buy wheel dollies again. Double up. All right. A little more heaving and hoeing. We're at a good tear down spot. I think pretty much this front end just needs to come off. There's a lot of stuff I really like about this truck. Like how well that little hood and everything pops. The way everything's kind of functioning so far for just throwing a couple trucks together. I think we just need to get the whole front end, clean off. Actually, let me pull this nose cone since someone hit it with the skid steer. Maybe we'll start with a little custom body work here. Try to line this back out. Right, this used to be perfectly straight. Then someone slipped the skid steer, bada bing, bada boom. Now she's got a custom dent or 3. I am no sheet metal guy, so I'm not gonna elaborate too much. But like this bottom pulled out, I don't know if y'all can see how that humps up. Well, whatever you messed up, you just try to put it back to wherever it came from. A few little smackety smacks, and that goes flatty flat. This side smacks flat. This side already, or this had a little Pot County repair at some point in its life. A little electrical tape. Heck yeah. What in the rod knock? Hey, Mal, Puddin's heater's rod knocking. Be careful saying Puddin's heater. You'll say, it almost sound like Puddin's. Put the P at the for the H. Never mind. Never mind. Puddin's Peter do what? All right, now down here is a little more complicated, but I think we need to start with straightening this edge out because it's kind of creased right there, and I think that's what's got us. The best thing to do is just don't tear up your body in the first place. Yes, there probably is a right or wrong way, but the right way is whatever ends up with it looking good. So you can see I'm just kind of smacking, just smack till she gets kind of straight again. That's the best professional advice I got. I mean, this whole thing looks like it needs to open up. I don't know how to open it up, but I can put that there, and that can become a wedge. And in theory, if we smack that down, it's gonna open it up. It's gotta try a couple things. That's better. A few more smackities and whackities, and that looks pretty good to the table now, which before it did not. So we're just gonna guesstimate that's pretty close to where she's supposed to be. Here at Puddins Fab Shop, if you've got custom sheet metal needs, come see me. We'll get you lined out. All right, a lot more smacking that I didn't show, and I've about got it lined out where I'm happy with it. It ain't perfect, but it ain't wadded up near as bad as I had it, so we'll take it. Just don't bend your grill shells and then you won't have to straighten them up. Whoop. Yeah. Part of the reason we're tearing into the front end, our hood hinge here. Very simple little idea, but it is just tacked up. We need to weld that. Little fusion weld right there, basically. No filler really required. Luckily that hood weighs about 4 pounds, so she don't need a lot of strength. This is why I want to get my TIG welder going, guys, just for little stuff like this. Those would have turned out much prettier if I would have ground out the big ugly MIG tack welds in there, but I did it. It's not a show truck, guys, but that's gonna be strong enough. A little more low profile than a big old fat TIG weld on there, or MIG weld. A few bolts, fenders come right off. Right off, I said they come. And now we're kind of into the meat and potatoes of it. All right. So, looks like we got more clearance on this side. What do you think, Theo? What we got in there? About a nose worth? We got in this side. About a fingers. I'm dying. About a finger's worth. Now, I still need to put shocks on this, but if we're going to keep it this low, which we got to keep it this low, and in the last video, when I kind of lost steam on this, It was just talking about how the truck don't look like it sits low in the proportions, and I was thinking about doing this and that and that and this, blah, blah, blah. Scratch all that, guys. I sat it over there. I've stared at it. I think the truck looks as good as it's gonna look without doing anything drastic, as in cut the cab entirely off the 92 again. We're not going that far backwards. I knew this was a 50-50 project. I told you all that when I rolled the dice at the beginning, and it's gonna be a it is what it is project. I'm not gonna go majorly backwards because I don't think anything I do to it, I'm gonna end up just absolutely loving it. It just didn't quite work out how I wanted. And I'm content with that. We've got plenty of other projects that I know is gonna turn out good. Theo's a fan of the interior. You win some, you lose some. I don't think it's a total loss. We just move forward and it is what it is. So with that being said, we're not changing the fenders. We've just got to get in here and make the crap work. Those fenders. We're going to be changing these fenders. I think we got to. Now this kind of sucks, and here's why. Our wiring there is in factory location. Like I said, the coil, reservoir, all this stuff. The air box, I thought we were going to be able to bolt right back into the factory location. That's really the stuff I do not want to be losing on this. Like I said, it's kind of the whole point, but I don't know what else to do besides start moving, relocating, cutting, and welding. So we're gonna start with moving out some of our wiring. Move our harnesses. Our coil. Just bolt that down right there. That's perfect. Crunchy. This will clearly just zip tie to our master. That looks good. All right, just don't cut that hood latch and you're ready for a little clearance in. Can't move our harness out completely because she tees off and goes here and there and snakes. So we just gotta be a little careful. Careful's my middle name. Sure is a lot of smoke. All right, just want to make sure we weren't slicing into the tire. Airbags, baby. No, I'm just kidding. We are going to do a budget air ride project this year at some point. Ain't going to be this one. I'll be damned if we put all the work to do airbags and just get her to sit 2 inches lower. Guys, I kind of just eyeballed this. As you can probably tell by that good tape job and cut job. And I just got to figure out how to cut back here. Little cut with the grinder. Little cut with the sawzall. Bet that tire don't rub no more. Shoo-wee. She ain't purty.
Far out.
Lowrider stuff, you know. Let's give her the bounce test. Just starting to kiss right back there. However, we haven't got shocks on this unit right now. I think with shocks, you'd be pretty hard pressed to get it bouncing that good.
You don't want to bounce it that good, I tell you.
She's gonna ride so nice. Popping wheelies.
Yeah.
Oh, Slicky showed up, brought me a drink real quick. What a guy. Y'all wanna see it? He's driving? Fire it! Damn, how many drinks you need?
One for me.
So you need an ignition, huh?
Yeah, I got one ordered.
Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes, sir. Old Slick's been driving that old fire turd around. You didn't see the wheel it run and then the getting that going mechanical, and we painted it here in the shop and everything. That was some stuff we'd done last year or so. Anyways, these things in here, guys, the fenders overhang. This is not going to be pretty. I'm not going to spend 3 or 4 days cutting all this out. We could cut those out 100% and just build back some new stuff. Hell, it may be easier. Don't tempt me, now that I'm thinking about it. Like I said, I'm not gonna do it. Now here I am eyeballing it like, we might have to do it. We're not gonna make nothing too crazy. I'm gonna follow this line right here. That's gonna straighten us up. I think if we cut down to about right there, we can almost just round a piece. Little clean up here. Just trying to straighten up the edges, or then we can fold something ugly in there. On this one, seam sealer and paint may be our friend. Lop that a little more. Since we're going for the not pretty technique, I just kind of random kind of strip a poster board here. And the goal is to kind of kick that up that away. On that back edge, I'm just having to shove that into there to mark it up. And I got us a little something anyhow to try. Go ahead and cut her out. Now, because my give a damn for these fender wells, because I'm not in love with it, is kind of low. I am kind of speedballing through this. So instead of even trying to tune that up, we're going to cut her out of metal and just try to make it fit. And it'll work or it won't. Hey, I think we got our money's worth out of that cutoff wheel. Quick little deburr. What did the fabricator do when it was cold outside? He deburred the metal. All right, I will shut up. This was facing up, this is towards the back. Straight side out. That means the thing needs to kind of bend like so. Just getting there. It's raining men. Hallelujah. Well, that popped. Don't judge me off that. All right, we need to get that out the way. Let's get our wheel and tire out the way. Then we need to clean up along here some. Little carbide bit is really good for working your way in there too. All right, what I'm thinking of doing is just shoving this up from the bottom side up in there and just working it into place. Yeah, maybe start with a corner down there to be our guide. Yeah, we're gonna start down here in this corner. I'm gonna tack her there, then I'm gonna shove stuff till it touches. That bottom corner, a little tacky. Right there's where I started. I wanted to push it up till it hit over here. Now with that pull over there, you can see there might be we may leave a little gap here or there, but overall it should touch all right. The main problem is right now if we kind of pull on that it's actually gonna flex this around, so we need to probably finish trying to get it tacked down through there. A few more tacks down into there. Now here on this side we can come back. See, I can shove that over there and I can weld it from out here. Again, for a kind of throw together truck, I ain't too worried about it. That gap right there, I should have slid this down this way. That would have made up that. And you can see back here we're too long. That's because this whole thing kind of needs whoop. She'll run. Back in here, same thing. We just got to hammer it back. Get that kind of worked up into that corner. I knew this was going to be a funky area. Well, I may have got a little carried away. I just went around and tacked that whole thing in. Well, I have a little, I'll trim off back here, but I should have checked this. The whole point's for clearance. Probably should have checked her for clearance before we full committed. I ain't got commitment issues. Oh yeah. I do believe we just got the clearance we needed. Give her a bounce. Whoo, 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 woo. That thing's ready for every pothole in Pot County with the Pot County Legend driving. I'm gonna kind of file a little longer tacks there. Lob that out. With that off there, we can grind her up. We can smooth her out. We can get that pretty flush just like that. And instead of having an hour or two into fitting up templates and making sure this is perfect and that is perfect. Yeah, she's kind of roughed in, but she's in, and in a timely manner. Pretty happy with the shape of it. All except back here, that's kind of steep, but that's on purpose. I could have tried to feather that out more, but we'll be getting pretty close to our master cylinder. So again, just for the quick, budget, friendly, let's get her on the road, not spend. I'm happy with it. I'm happy. Now we're gonna kind of do a repeat process here where we just drop that down in and trace along here. We could try to straighten up these edges some, but like that, it looks like we're gonna be able to at least get a reservoir mounted back on here, which is nice. So I don't want to change no more of the factory fender wheel than what I have to. Trace that on the front side. Of course, then we'll hop back here and trace the curve on the back side. Whoop! Cut that out. Now, all we have to do is cut that out of sheet metal. That's gonna be so much fun. Can't wait. Situation like this, I'll just rough it out with the cutoff wheel. Of course, that radius is easy to do. That I just rough it out, and we'll just fine tune her with the flap. And even though that shape looks super duper crazy, there she is. Pretty easy to do. Well, she fits pretty dang good. Weld her in. All I did there was the old push and squish. Push that metal till it touches and squish that trigger. A fire going. Does she look great? No. Does it look terrible? I don't think so. Is it kind of perfect for what we got going on? Yeah, I think we nailed it. Now, if your goal was to have some quality show truck, you could obviously weld all that up. You could spend the time, grind it out, do what you gotta do. Of course, if you're doing a quality show truck, you probably wouldn't be doing crap like this anyhow. Whoop, that whole thing would get cut off there. Like I said, I think we're gonna be able to keep that, which makes me happy. So let's just get some seam sealer on it where it can start setting up. That's what we're gonna do, is seam seal and they'll paint and make me the fabricator. We are gonna kind of Scotch-Brite on this rig to try to half get our paint or whatever we end up spraying on this to stick. Kind of half-ass build y'all think we're doing around here, huh? Scrubba, 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 scrubba. Next, to carry with our professionalism, I've got our old worn-out tube of seam sealer that I literally had to drill the end out of because it was solid. We'll get her seam sealed up. It's gonna go great. There's one thing I'm known for. It's my superb caulking abilities. Oh yeah, she's looking good, all right. Looks like a third grader did it. Gave her a little smear with the finger. Kind of worked her into some areas. And y'all may think I hate that, but I don't. I think it's what we need. Sound like I was trying to convince myself, huh? Oh, hell, she looks all right. Just like out here, this stuff was all seam sealed from the factory. We rattle canned it all black. Once this sets up, we're gonna rattle can it all black. She's gonna be all right. She's gonna be all right. Sit her back down, and now we get to look at this side, which is even more annoying because it needs just enough to need done, but it don't need near as much as that other side. And we've got all of our electronics right here that we're gonna have to mess with. Just enough to irritate you. Here's that hump, maybe in that. I mean, we're gonna have to just barely trim anything out on this sucker. And then a little tear down over here. We had the vacuum canister that was right there, stripping it out. From snub nose in the front, we still ain't got nowhere for a danged old battery. We gonna need one. Yeah. This is what I did when I get into this stuff, like our little tray here that holds all of our wiring. We're gonna get to bust this all up. She will be missed. She's no longer with us. Strip down. We'll take our fender. Trying to figure out if it's even worth entertaining putting that right there. I know it ain't gonna look the greatest, but our terminals and stuff are right up here. Yeah, that'd be good. We'll make it fit where to change the battery, we'll just have to pull the front clip. No problem. Like that one, that's a new move I made up. That was me canoeing. Except I was only canoeing one side, so I'm probably going in a circle. All right, shake us up a little primer. And I just banged out this side. It was the exact same process, guys. I just kind of judged that I come up to the bottom of that hole. So over there, I kind of come up to the bottom of that hole, and that's how I judged it. Didn't figure you want to watch it twice. That gave us enough time for this to kind of set up over here. I'm gonna try to get us a little primer on some of this bare metal. I did tape off our master cylinder for the clutch there in that line. Just didn't want it to get painted. Don't worry about that hood release cable though. We'll just bury it right in with it. And we're gonna hop down to the bottom side. Just burn right over that soot with some primer here. We're gonna let that dry. I'm gonna have to run to the parts house because I have 0 red paint. We can dust it back black. If we had some red that kind of matched, it may help it blend a little. So we can take a piece of this with us and just see what we can find. Theo, come here. Our dog's colorblind. Theo rode along with me. He picked out this color. Oh no, Theo, I should have went in instead of you. Went and looked at the old Duplicolor color match rattle can specials. They did have one red for Toyota, but it had a bunch of like metallic and crap in it. Oh, that sucker is red, Fred. We're not ready for paint because we still need to mount stuff, but the curiosity's killing me. Oh, that's like damn highlighter pink or something. Maybe if we just do a little overspray, little blending. That ain't gonna stand out at all. That's it. That ain't even close. Theo's fired. He ain't coming back. Today's his last day picking out wrong colors like that. Hell, she'll run. She'll run. Red's red. That fitting makes me super happy. Shoot, that don't even look bad for a quick budget job, does it? Oh, it's going back. Oh. Yeah. This stuff bolts back in. I don't know it was worth that big of a celebration. Trying to get our air box in. And we're gonna have to cut off this leg for sure. For that we need Sir Cut Saw. R.I.P. third leg, you will be missed. Yes! Great success. The two that do mount, they mount in there nice. And it sits literally perfect on our tub. So it only has 2 in it, but that's nice and solid. See, we could have overthought these things, tried to make it work with this on purpose, and sometimes you're just better off to fire from the hip and just get lucky, dang it. Boom. Take our drill bit here, we'll just drill some new holes to be able to pop our loom up in. Secure. I think this is gonna work, guys. I thought this coil was gonna fight us because it's kind of busy right here with the reservoir, the air box. But the thing is, with how we're about to mount this, This we should still be able to change once the fender's on. It's gonna look a little busy, but it's gonna work without having to extend wires or do anything crazy. Now we don't want to drill holes and put bolts through here because those would stick down and then you could hit your tire, which is counterproductive to what we're trying to accomplish. So instead we're gonna bare metal that and weld some bolts there. We get some heat into there, that'll help that paint finish setting up. That's good. Where'd that go? Heck, I don't know. To the bottom of this air box, I can smell plastic. Check the fit. Perfect. See, with that mounted like that, once that fender's on here, it runs over to like here, but you can reach up underneath there, boom, put that nut on. It works! Yes, sir. It did work. Guys, we just dodged so many bullets. I thought we were gonna have to get, they make a whole adapter thing for this for like a cold air intake if you gotta run that style of filter. I thought we were gonna have to rework all of this, and welding 2 studs and drilling a couple holes got us back pretty well how it needs to be. Let's look at our air intake setup. I think I discovered this right here could work, which was our factory boot, but it don't quite turn 90. I guess it can, but it don't like it. So I ordered a cheapo cold air intake, hoping we could make that work, and y'all can guess how that goes. The boot is better because it does turn to 90. It steps down to the size we need. The tubing that came with it's too short. That was one of the cheapo ones. I guess they make some that are real expensive for this thing. So we can use that boot. We may have to ditch our little hook here, but all we got to do now is try to connect that to that. Luckily in the cheapo depot kit, it came with this little reducer. And then I just found this online, which is, I think 3-inch, I don't remember. And it should be long enough. We're gonna have to cut it down. So as long as that can kind of, I don't know. I do not know. I don't care about a cold air intake, guys. All I care about is the damn thing running. I've never really successfully welded aluminum a lot, so we might as well try on this thing, huh? We're gonna have to put an angle in this. We're gonna have to come from this end over about the length of that, and then whatever that angle is, about 145. That's probably what we want to move. Set our angle up here. You want to set it at half of what you need it to be, so then when you turn it, those 2 halves make your total. I may be doing this wrong. This blade is not for aluminum, so I'm not sure how it's going to do, but we're going to try it. Well, it didn't seem to care. So now I put us a reference mark there. Like I said, if we clock that now, see now it creates an angle. Have I mentioned I have no clue what I'm doing? I got a little bit of a puddle, I could see it. I'm probably not set up correct, guys, as far as thicknesses and stuff like that. But, oh, don't break on me. Better get another one or we're gonna be in bad shape. In fact, the only filler rod I even have is like 1/8 inch, entirely too big for trying to do some little custom intake work here. She's tacked. Shoot, we may not need no filler, see that? She's just laying herself down. Alright, not trying to get too plumb butt crazy or anything. We're gonna have to angle it back over again. It'll kick us up, but then we're gonna have to jar back over because it's really only a little drop down in there. I'm sure there's a way to get super technical on this. I'm popping it back on. I think right in there we want our next cut, and we kind of want the angle following that line. I hope we're doing this right. Instead of jogging just up and over, I'm hoping with how I kind of eyeballed it, we jog back some that we need to. May have been a little bit of overkill with that angle, but we're gonna go with it. I got us an index mark here. That one welded and then it cracked. Looks like it's hairline cracking again. And so is this stuff. Perfect. That's what we need. So when we put it in there, it just all falls apart. Now the last one, the best I can tell, using the super accurate method, we need around 12 degrees of an angle, which means on the saw we need to cut it at 6. I lobbed that off because that bead is going to have to sit crooked. I tuned this to just a hair past 5 is what it looks like to me. Here goes nothing. Well, the cut worked. She was cracking, so I actually had to put a little filler metal, and holy cow, that sucker hot. My filler's just entirely too big for what we're doing. I'm not too worried about her looking pretty anyhow. We can paint her black for all I care. Each joint's trying to break on me, so I'm having to put a little filler material on each one now. She's looking so pretty. Now she's so ugly. The welds may be getting a little ugly and lumpy and not so pretty, but what matters is she does kind of seem to fit-ish. Assuming that ain't gonna hit the hood. Damn, it might. I guess if it does, we can knock that flat and fill it in with something. The next concern is this upper radiator hose, because we took this whole whoop backwards, so the factory one's gonna be too long, but we hopefully can cut it. I want to make sure we can get something on here with this elbow on here. Trim this down to here. Just kind of guesstimating here, no measuring, just eyeballing. Don't even know if I have it facing the right way. Take a hair more. Well, that shoves on there. I can get a fingertip underneath that, so it's clearing. Yes. It's gonna work, it's gonna work, get down. Gonna get down on these ugly welds. I don't know if I should just wait, if I should just do the weld and pray. I don't know what to do. Let's weld. Still got way too much filler. I realize I'm putting my tip way too close because I'm actually getting where I can start to weld there. I guess. That was rough, guys. And I know I could clean a little better than what I did. I don't really think that was so much a problem other than TIG welding aluminum for the first time, plus we're going around the tube. So the first one, I'd kind of got into some patterns here or there. I think it was that one. And I was pretty happy with that. Now the second one, on the other hand, I could not get in a pattern and I was blowing it out and it's just bad. And then the last one, I got going decent again on it. I think a little more practice, we could probably get all right at it. For our first air intake modification here I've ever done, I'm not gonna stress it too bad. You pop the hood, like I said, we'll probably paint that black. Everything clears, that's the main thing. Whoop, up and over. Here's the funny thing. When I went to tear into the front end today, I forgot we had to do the tubs until I got out here and bounced it. And I thought that was gonna hook up straight. So all the stuff we fabricated and built today wasn't even on my to-do list originally. However, great progress has been made. You doggy! Before I went in, I got some of our black that I'd already painted this with back in the day. Painted her black. Looks good. I almost forgot that detail. Speaking of ye doggy, who got a new bed, Fred? Woo, she's soft. Hims likes it. What you got there? What you got there? Yeah! All right, we're gonna keep this party going, guys. Of course, we're gonna hop over to the passenger side now. And on this side, hopefully a battery's gonna fit. And at a minimum, we've gotta get this crap remounted. All we gotta do is think, Think. Our clamp that was right there, undid it. There's a hole right there. We just move it down. And that actually frees up a little room right in here. Woo! So I wore those bibs today. I knew the sparks were going to shoot up and I was going to get that old hot crotch. Hot crotch. Now here's the bracket I originally built to help mount this. The thing is though, that bracket goes back into there and I didn't think there's going to be enough room there. But I think we may have enough room with that off there. If we can keep it up here where we ain't gotta, the only other option I can think of, if we can't make room under the hoods, obviously go towards the rear. Then you're stretching cables and all kinds of stuff that we really don't want to be doing. Or I don't want to be doing. When that appears to fit right there. And the question is, can we wiggle that up out of there possibly? Come on, come on. Yeah, we're getting there. Don't give up, see? And just like that, guys, if you're in a pinch, if you're in a hurry, you'll quite easily be able to change out your battery. Parts House is gonna bring me a battery where we get the proper one. I'm gonna drill poster board. Woo! Not for any old reason though. This little guide pin thing we have right there, oh, I could have drilled that a little smaller, I reckon. All right, try again. I'm gonna pop that right there, and we're gonna work on mounting this now that we know the battery can indeed go towards the front. I'm gonna just kind of mark her out. I guess somewhere we gotta know where to drill a hole at. Ta-da! We ain't welding aluminum no more, Toto. Jeez Louise. Parts House showed up with a battery. A battery that's called for this pickup, guys. He come walking in, it looked like he was carrying that battery charger. The battery is so damn big. I don't know if they think this thing comes with some big rig, but I do not need a battery the size of this box. Weld a little nut onto our bracket. Now we should be able to set that right there and weld it. On the back side, we do the exact same thing. Whip up a little template, and we whip her up out of metal. I'll break a little edge onto this one for some support. That's pretty. Yeah, weld that, get it nice and hot where it melts the plastic. Hey! Our second new battery's here. Hopefully this one's a little more pequeño. I'm gonna say, let's go 8 inches by 7 3/4. Mark out our strap here, 1/8 inch thick, 3/4 inch wide, tall, however you say that. Take our 8 inch piece, put her up there, 7 3/4 down here, jig it on the edge of the table. I made a mistake. I said 7 3/4. I meant 6 3/4. It happens. So now we just need to take 1 inch off of this. And I actually just did 3/4 of an inch. Nice and simple little frame. We're just trying to keep it from doing the wiggle jiggle. And we probably ain't gonna be able to wiggle jiggle it up out of there, but who needs it? Do that anyhow. Cut out a piece of sheet metal. The corners I just kind of 45 that way it's got a place to drain. Hopefully we don't fill her up with water too often. Hopefully that's where we need it, because cutting that weld down in there is going to be hard if we got to move it. Got overly confident. Went to test fit that, and sure enough it was hitting. This needs to go back further. The bucket of the headlight was hitting it, and then the battery was kicking over. It's all right. Try again. Put that block underneath there for some support. We'll try it before we get crazy and weld it. I can already tell it's much better. We're gonna see if we can wiggle it out of there though. Yeah! Yeah! Ha! It's possible to get it out. That's what we need. Take some more of that little strap. Just make some simple little brackets over here to support this side. Weld her up, guys, weld her up. Woo, she's glowing orange. I don't think that thing's going anywhere. We're gonna get a little touch-up paint here, and we'll have this side kind of caught up. I remounted our harness and everything else. Guys, the point of these are the body swaps, what I consider a body swap. Some of y'all do chassis swaps, and you call that a body swap. You know, however you want to define it. To me, the body swaps is whenever they keep the firewall and dash and all that. Anyhow, the point of them to me is they're cheap. Our run and driving truck was super cheap. Our body was super cheap, and you just combine it. And if you look at this right now, for getting that all together, guys, I don't think I'm upset about any of this. I thought it was gonna look a lot worse than what it does. And I think for a budget friendly, you're not trying to build something high end, the one you wanna drive, you know, in the mud if you need to, dirt roads, hauling parts, use it, scratch it if you need to. You're not gonna cry. This thing is gonna be that, exactly. Throw our shocks on. Dust a little red paint. Pretend it blends better than it does. Prepare your next shock. I love how DJM bragged on themselves. They, on the box, genuine DJM part. I think DJM means like damn Japanese motors. I like how they brag that it's a genuine part of theirs, but it comes with 3 bushings available because really it's just a universal part. Genuine universal part is what they should have put. You'd think something that's supposed to be specific to a vehicle would be specific to a vehicle, but you know, we've got a vise. Got a little looby dooby on that sucker, so we can do it. You want me to fix it? Hell, I'll fix it. Ta-da. With that shock on, we can't bounce it quite like we used to. I'm happy with how all that turned out. Look at this side. We've got tons of clearance. Wonder if we don't have her sitting too low on this side or something. I don't know. That was the concrete. Never mind. Never mind. That concrete looks good to me. We're grooving. So let's keep the groove flowing and going. Fan shroud. I think that's the last thing we kind of need to build up underneath here. We are gonna hook up the factory AC, so we want it pulling as much air as possible. And for that, we need a fan shroud. I'm trying to figure out how to mark this where we know where to do it. And best I've come up with is I put us a mark right here. So this is center. I just kind of eyeballed that to the center of the water pump. And then basically whatever the length of that fan is, we could come up, I don't know, we probably need 3/8 of an inch of a gap from down here, wherever that leaves us. And we may have to step it off some. So if I go off the weld and measure to the back of that fan blade, that's 1.5 inches. Generally speaking, rule of sore thumb, you want your blade about halfway in the shroud, halfway out. So that for us would mean then 3/4 of an inch back is what we could box our shroud. Oh, it's been a minute since I built all this stuff, but it all just kind kind of interlocks there, real easy. And it'll probably come apart easier if we take that AC line off. And the hood latch. Don't forget the hood latch. Got her. I think earlier I said I had used 3/4 inch. That was a lie, because this is 3/4 inch. Earlier I used 1 inch. Now we're using 3/4 inch because we need 3/4 inch of an offset. 2 pieces of 3/4, 2 pieces of 1 inch. Our 1 inch we're gonna lay like so and figure out our 2 holes to drill here. Real simple way to do this is line it up where you want it, mark where your 2 holes should be to center it that way, and then we'll just hop over, measure from that edge over to the center, 3/8 of an inch. So then we can square this off, or give us a line to follow, I mean. And then from that edge over, we go 3/8 of an inch. Pretty nice that the Radiator has those threaded bungs for a shroud. So with those holes drilled, you just imitate it on another one. Boom, bolt them on. Now we're started. This being 3/4 of an inch, we can step it over like that. That's gonna get us about the depth we need. And the TIG is whipping my butt today. I'd like to get this done today, so we're just gonna MIG weld it. Eagle Eye says close enough to 90. Take that side, measure across 20.5. Put the thing down, flip it and reverse it. Wonk! With that old saw and different straps to choose from. Or what bar, flat bar, damned old flat stock. You know, I got that old 3/4 inch damned old flat stock. Does that look like a strap? Is it flat? Well, I guess that kind of makes it flat strap, don't it? Right. They call these overalls because they go over all this. Squirrel with the saw and different strap to choose from. All of a sudden, we've got it framed quick for this thing. I guess now we just need to cut some sheet metal put on it. For this, we're going to use the electric scissors. Now we've got us a cookie pan ready to make some cookies. Set our piece on. She was not perfectly square to this, which is okay. I just kind of split the difference, but like up here, we've got a little bit of overhanging metal. That's fine. We'll weld it a little bit. We're gonna pull this off. We'll smooth it up. She'll be good. Speed mode. Yeah, 1 second. Speed mode. Now remember, kids, don't be like Mortsky. Womp womp womp. That no good filthy criminal don't know how to round a corner. Well, maybe I'm being a little lazy. Maybe my give a damn's just a little low towards this front anymore. Anyhow, I did a little more sanding on it. We're gonna bolt her on, but I did not full weld this, guys. So I put about 1 inch weld on it every couple inches, and I think it's gonna be GUD, good enough. We got a mark, and we're just gonna use our line that I put there. And we may get old Big Blue runner all the way down. And we kind of need to measure this fan. What I can see is about 14 7/8. But I said I'd like around 3/8 of an inch on each tip. So the 14 7/8, then we need to add 5/8 to that. That'll give us 3/8 on each side. So that's easy enough. That gets us at 15 1/2. We divide that by 2. That should give us 7 3/4. That's it, right up from that edge. So I think as long as we go from there down to right there, that should get us where we need. I'm gonna triple, quadruple check my calculations because I don't want to have to rebuild this. Woo, we're gonna be cutting right up to the edge over here. Right up to the bottom. Drilled us a hole right there in the center. And I'm gonna Clayco that. I measured over our 7 and whatever I needed. I don't even remember. Drilled a hole there. We're gonna put that marker through. Now we've got a perfect circle. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's where we're gonna aim for. How's that? Golly, we gotta cut out that whole dang thing. A few blades later, I got it. Gotta put all this back together just to check it. Trust the process, guys, even if it frustrates you sometimes. All right, bolt started, put a couple in the front where I know that lines up. It should be right back where it was. I didn't feel it hitting nothing, which is a good sign. Hey-o, looky there. Probably close to 1/4 inch of clearance, it looks like. I mean, hell, if it starts to hit it, it'll self-clearance, won't it? Guys, I think we nailed it. Yes! Ha, 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 ha! Woo, woo, woo. Oh, that makes me so happy. That makes me happy. Obviously, that don't look the greatest. And we could have spent a lot more time, but we also could have done a lot of other stuff different. That looks pretty good. Should function good. Our depth is pretty well right where I want it. That should help that all just function a lot better. That cleaned up, or with it, blah, blah, bleep, bleep, blah. Knowing it'll fit, I went ahead and welded this flange on because I realized I just tacked it. Took some 80 grit, just kind of hand sanded and rounded this edge where it ain't so sharp. And now, unfortunately, we're to my least favorite part. Stuff's ready for paint and primer and paint. It's ready to look good. I'll step into the booth over here. That's a little coat of primer on some stuff. Shroud. Core support. I guess our intake, if we decide to paint it black. For some reason in my head we had to paint more stuff, but not really. I'll just dust us a little bit of black paint on here. Obviously I ain't even really cleaning nothing. The rest of the frame's not painted, so it'll be all right. Maybe it'll just look a little better. Maybe it won't. Rattle can Dan, don't give a damn. Protect some of that weld and bare metal anyhow. Just a fresh can of black and give it a shake of tack. Anything's a paint booth if you try hard enough. Get our custom powder coat laid down on this premium air intake tube device. See, most folks don't know I did this on purpose. That's a velocity angle. Every time you add an angle, the velocity of the air hits it, and as it makes the corner, the centrifugal force actually speeds it up. So you increase airflow and horsepower. That's right. Absolutely none of that I just said is true. Hey, she may not flow the absolute best, but that is gonna be better than this. Look at this little clunker dunker it used to flow through, huh? Is that an air intake or a damn hammer? Then this little doo-bop. And what we got? Toyota making intakes out of water hoses? We ain't even gonna talk about that stretchy elbow that used to go on the intake. Mine is high performance. Mine's basically like adding a turbo. Now, turbo's just a compressor, and speaking of compressor, we're actually going to change our AC compressor right now. It's extremely easy to get to, and it's on the to-do list. Now, what I don't know is how this tensioner works. I feel a bolt back there. This one up here, I think we had to tighten that, and that locks her down. Ooh, that is tight. Woo! That was all of it. Then I see a bolt back here. This should be our adjuster. Oh yeah, she's doing what we need her to do. And gets her belt off. Yeah, one wire for our clutch. Gotta undo our lines. This one I had broke. I think I found the proper one last night. Got her ordered. And it looks like we can either take off the whole bracket or possibly get to 1, 2, 3, 4, just the bolts that mount the compressor. Oh, google. Oh, long skinny bolt. Apparently that's where our ground goes to as well. Here she comes. Apparently you gotta swap over the top piece. Make sure our new gasket is down in there. Make sure the bottom of that is free of debris. Swap her over. And now, since we don't have plugs for those, as we tighten this, all the debris can fall down and still go inside there. Shocker! Our nice cheap internet compressor had the wrong style connector. Nothing a little splice job won't fix real quick. Why does this sucker sound like it's making tea? Sounds like tea kettle steaming. A little heat shrink, and we'll have to zip tie this because I did pull the wire out of the clamp. Womp womp womp. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get her fixed up. Little tension. Might be a little too much. Locked, cocked, ready to rock. It's a hell of a lot easier to change without all that stuff on there. Now there's a reason they call me Redo Ricky and Backtrack Bobby, okay? I started to put the front end together, but to do that, we're replacing condenser dryer. As I open that up, there's a big old pack of seals, including a better one for this. I thought that one that was underneath there, I wasn't too confident on it, you know, so. Everything I can find online says a completely dry system needs 7 ounces of lubricant. We've got an 8-ounce bottle, so I'm gonna put quite a bit in the compressor. I may even give us a few drip drops in all those components, guys. But I just had to show you my mess up. My redo. Better give her some lubricant. She's thirsty. All right, I'm gonna keep going back together, guys. Every time I do attach a line, we're going with new O-rings. Put a little lubie on them. Got plenty to choose from. Well, good morning. My goal yesterday was to just keep plucking away at putting stuff together. I kind of ended with getting that together. This morning I put on the fenders and the little front cone or whatever you want to call that assembly. Problem, guys, we hit a roadblock. A rather unfortunate one that's kicked in my ADHD and all kinds of stuff where I ain't got much done this morning other than kind of cleaning up. What I realized when I came out here, my goal was to sort out the headlight wiring because doing it with all that together is going to be a pain in the butt. Just probably not possible. So I start testing out our wiring, and it took me entirely too long of researching before it clicked in my head and realized that the Toyota switches grounds and stuff. So it's not just like a plug and play for the headlights. Besides the fact we're going from a single headlight Toyota to now dual, I wanted to check all that. Long story short, I decided we needed headlights anyways. I ordered some retro upgrade ones that will bolt into place, but then they take a newer H4 style bulb. But to convert this from the ground signal switch into what we need for that, there's like a $19 harness on Amazon that we could probably spend a day and like build something like that, but for 19 bucks, it can be here in 2 days. It don't matter, because without the headlights, no matter what we do at this point, after that stuff arrives, we're gonna have to take this front end off one more time. Which sucks, because I was really hoping to go together final assembly, full hardware, but it does come on and off really fast, so it ain't that big of a deal. At least our radiator, condenser, like the core support setup, locked to the fender wells and all that, that is done. No redoing that, so it's just the sheet metal. I'm trying to figure out how to keep going, because that wrench in my plane kind of messed up what I had up here. Anyhow, I tried mocking up a C10 bumper. It's entirely too big. I'm not dumb to the fact I knew it was going to be too big. I thought we may be able to narrow it or something. I just think no matter what we do, it's going to be ugly. I ain't even going to take the time to try to position it into place again to show you how ugly it was. I don't think there's a good option for a bumper on this other than the stock one. Problem with the stock one is it's probably not tall enough. There's no way it can cover up all that crap hanging, but it is what it is. I went out and sawzalled this one off our factory Stout frame. Whoop! Just sliced it. Only problem with it is beat to crap. I don't know if y'all could see how unsymmetrical that is, but it's quite a bit. I'd really like to put a stock bumper on it, but it's not like Toyota Stouts are just laying around everywhere. I'll just run out to the salvage, grab one real quick. Theo, I'll be back. I'm gonna go get a Stout bumper, okay? No, sir. We may take the hammer and smack on that one, see if we can start to straighten it up some. If we get it close enough, we may run it. I guarantee you I got hammers big enough for this job. Holy wonky. Well, if it'd straighten out as easy as that hardware comes out, we'd be in good shape. Yeah! I'll set this up here. Maybe y'all can see this whole thing jogs over real bad. I don't know what to do besides smack it in here and try to force it back down. My hope's dwindling. Just relax a little bit, why don't you? Thing's hopping like a damn old lowrider car. Ooh, that may be a little closer than it used to be. Maybe. And I think I'm onto something here. Maybe just good enough to help fool the eyeball. I flattened this out, probably too much right in here. And I was looking at it and I could tell it was holding like tension right here. So I gave her a relief cut with the Sawzall. One there, one down on the bottom, so those lips would just kind of relax where this could kind of bend. And now that we've been smacking on it, looky there, we're down to probably about, I don't know, 5/16 of a gap right in there. A lot better. Looks fairly straight too. I can tell it still tweaks some, but it's a tweaked bumper we're trying to beat into submission. It's probably gonna stay tweaked a little bit. Hey Ma, Puddins in the Fab Shop tweaking. Say the bottom's good. Top looks okay too. Let's kind of try to get her tweaked up into place over here and see how that's looking for us. So from the factory, this was kind of even, well, about right there where it's at, kind of towards the bottom of that. I would okay with us being, since we got build brackets, we could drop a little gap in there, maybe. The problem I see now is this thing is curved out. I need some curved hook to go with this front end. So I think I actually flattened it out too much. So I made another relief cut because the first one treated me so good. And we're gonna pinch this thing in right there at that line. And I actually hammered over there and pinched that side in, and it was matching pretty good. I can tell we're closing in because this one closed up on me. I checked it over there, and I think it looks pretty good. Good enough where I'm going to weld her up. Quick little hammer and dolly work right here. That matches better.
Once there was this girl who got into...
It's really important to work in a nice, clean workstation, guys. That makes all the difference in being in a nice and safe environment. Kind of having to stack hot tacks just because that gap was so big. Damn! I play around a lot. I did pretty good on that. Look how consistent the bottom is on the concrete, sitting nice and flat. It was tweaked with one side higher than the other. Apparently I got that pretty close because both of them are the tips of the bumper off the ground. And then I don't know if it picked up how that thing was before, but that's pretty consistent now. Been playing Pot County Lincoln logs, and I'm kind of liking this. Now, you may notice I'm actually out further this way, but that's for a reason, because if we go too low, the bumper's gonna look too dropped down. That's dropped a little more than it would have been from the factory already. But the tighter we go against there, the more it's gonna highlight the stuff still hanging down, where the more that sticks out when it creates a little shadow and stuff, the more it'll help all that kind of disappear. Let's be honest, old pickups were not known for their bumpers being up and hugging tight anyhow, so that to me don't look out of place. Let me think on it. So we could drop it lower, but if we drop it lower, then we have to take it back to then close that gap. Go lower and then further back. Like I said, that definitely shows more of that hanging down there. But it don't look as bad as I thought it was going to. Woo! Eagle-eyed until I was happy, guys. I tucked it further back and I went just a hair higher, I think. And come out to the tips, make sure they're not funky. Just kind of made sure we had about the same gap here. And I just now noticed I actually need to bump it this way, probably 3/16. There we go. That gets her a little more consistent. Let me show you how simple we're gonna make these bumper brackets. When we mounted the core support, I had relocated these factory mounts, and they are threaded right there and there for bumper brackets. So I just kind of roughed us out something here. Kind of cut that in so it can match up to there. And then I just kind of shoved it up against there until it transferred our marks. Then we can take that and we can turn it into an actual template and we'll check it. Then you just make her out of metal. We are going to be welding on our bumper, so we'll burn some through, but I'm not too worried about that. Kind of cleaned up our template. I want to do this at 1/4 inch, but all I have is this big old sheet. So we're going to cut this off right here. Here's how you start a fire. Ten out of 10, do not recommend doing that. This is turning out to be a lot easier to do than I was kind of anticipating. In fact, this is something we've been needing to do It wasn't even really on my, I'm gonna do it this week kind of list. We're getting a lot done. Gear those out a little big, that will give us a little adjustability. Double check your positioning, make sure you're happy. We look up underneath here, got our 2 bolts started. We're touching up there, it's ready to tack. Ready to tack, huh? I wish the camera was rolling. I come over here, I try to shim that side up just a hair. It looked a little unlevel. And I bumped her up, and then I got down right here, and as soon as I did, just timber. Dang it! Fat tack on that, where I can kind of tweak it up. Whip up a bracket, just like that other side. Here we go. Here we go. She's got a bumper. Yeah. Do a little leg lifts with that one because this is just working out. Smoke coming off there. You can see on the front side, like I said, where we're gonna weld that, but that looks pretty good. Holy crap, does that look good. Let me take it in. Y'all know I've been struggling with liking this thing just from the amount of drop I cannot get out of it. And I knew putting a bumper on the front was gonna help it, guys. Just that big blank space aesthetically did not look good. I knew it was gonna help. I did not think it was gonna help that much. This looks like significantly better. Like I thought it'd be like, oh yeah, pretty good. No, this is like pretty damn good. And I'm so glad we decided to make that factory bumper work. Again, not perfect, but that looks about perfect for the truck, if that makes any kind of sense. Sounds good to me. Just been sitting here drooling since then. Or am I drooling from this delicious looking taco boy? Nummity nummity num. If you're ever anywhere near Pike County, America, you ought to swing through Taco Boy and see Leo. He'll take good care of you. Couldn't help it. Had to set the caps into place, guys. Oh, one fell off. Still gives you an idea. She's so much better. I was struggling with this truck so much, and I feel like our love, my flame has been reignited for you, old girl. Right, my goal is to still finish as much on the front as possible. And one thing I remember when it was running is we had an exhaust leak. And I don't mean underneath here. Well, it may be leaking underneath here too. We got to take that collector off because it's actually leaking up on the motor where a stud is stripped out of the engine. That's fun. They provided real short bolts, as you can tell. Pull both these and we'll go pull the header out the top. It's feeling a little cross-threaded too. That ain't good. Our little cheap header here. I got it just to clean up in here, not for the performance. You know, that right there is probably our exhaust leak. Look, even though the gasket's on there, look how it's just blowing past all that. Maybe we should just weld those up on the header and that would help fix that. I thought it was this hole right here that I felt was stripped out, but a minute ago when I took that off there, boy, it sure seemed tight. And that one's tightening up. Now maybe it's this bottom one that feels a little loosey-goosey. Well, it's tightening up too. That's all right with me. I didn't want to have to fix those anyhow. Maybe that one stripped out some of the threads, but not all of them. And without that on there, we're getting down into some deeper good threads. I can almost guarantee that's what's happening. Because I just started that stud in there, and it went so far down in there before it stopped. It did tighten up though. So I got on some Toyota website and ordered a brand new stud kit for this. And a brand new Toyota gasket for it. This is also Toyota parts. So I'm kind of hoping using some good quality stuff here, we'll get lucky and fix our problem. Since them block off plates don't want to work, let's weld her up. Hole size of a nickel, no problem. Now, I done that one back in the day, but now we got 3 on each side. Welding on the outside of the flange, not the inside, because then if we ground it down, it's got to be perfectly level to seal up. Slid her down into place on those 2 studs. I didn't want to get too many started. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get it on. Oh, that's tearing those up. Let's not do that. Last stud going in. Just run them down quick with our tool here, and then we'll get the old torque wrench on them. Torqued them all. Star pattern. Save the best for last. This is the one in question. Feels like it's tightening up pretty good. We just need her to click. Come on, baby. It's gotta be there. I don't think it has it in it. It did tighten up. I'm just afraid to give it any more. Can confirm she was not tightening up. Luckily it stripped out the threads where this is tapping without having to be drilled out. I guess that's a plus. Slow and steady. I finally got her bottomed out in there. I want to spray those chunks out and seen chunks come out from over here. That's a good sign. All right, got our little helicoil kit here. Here's our install tool. So those new threads we cut, this just threads into there, and then the threads inside of it are our old threads. All right, that's ringing down in. This is a punch kit that breaks that tang off there. And that don't want to blow out of there, so I guess it's permanently part of our motor. I put Loctite on our stud. Come on, baby. Yes, she torqued. Woo! Woo! That makes me happy. As long as we get these other ones torqued, hopefully we won't be exhaust leaking no more. Mission complete. So at this point, guys, I'm just trying to knock out anything I can. Our temp sender unit, I'd bought a new genuine Toyota one. I wanted to swap that out for some reason. I don't quite remember. That O-ring seals. Of course, just a simple 1-prong setup. One of y'all always comments and reminds me to hook up the fuel regulator. And I guess that's this thingy back here. I'd plugged it. I see it's coming off the fuel rail. I guess we're supposed to hook it to vacuum. I just don't know which one to hook it to. Maybe one of these up here. The online research said it was this one here. So we'll just pop that on there. And then we gotta decide how we want to route her. She looks so good without it. That's all right. We can whip her around like that right there. That ain't too bad. Who needs fuel pressure regulated anyhow, huh? To close out the day, I want to try closing our hood. Got it bolted back on her little cowl piece. Of course, we had all this stuff out, so she may be a hair out of alignment. We'll see. I also want to see if this is going to clear, because that does kind of stick up. Hey-yo. Looks like we kind of nailed it. Our piece up there needs to shift to the left just a hair. Other than that, oh mama. I had to push her back where I could see her bumper on. Caps mocked up, hood on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, that right there, that's doing it for me. I don't know about y'all, but it's doing it for me. Good morning, party people. Good morning, Theodore. Just playing. Tricked you. It ain't morning, okay? It's actually after lunch. Got out here this morning. Had to clean the shop, guys. It being a mess was killing me. And in my head, I thought we really need to do like rotors, bearings, and tie rods, all kinds of stuff on the front of this. So I started tearing into that to record for you, but all the stuff was fine. So it does need brake pads. I had the wrong ones. The new ones are on order. So basically I disassembled the front end to just put it all right back together. we're not gonna show it. Other than that, I've kind of been making a list and checking it twice like I'm Santa Claus, making sure I'm getting stuff ordered I need ordered. Just silly stuff like figuring out, you know, speakers and, you know, a little radio and crap like that. Did a little research to figure out if the evaporator's a super pain in the butt on this, and got a new evaporator and stuff ordered. That way she'll have all new AC components. And I've been staring at like the back of this picture and a bumper and crap that just don't make good video. Right now, we're gonna work on getting this bed off. With the bed on here and everything together, I'm just not happy with our tank relocation I did. So I want to pull the bed where we can spitball some ideas there. Then after that, we may look at adding a couple more bed mounts. I don't know. We have to make this mother trucker a dump bed. That's why they call me backtracking Bobby. God dang it, Bobby.
Oh, dang it, Bobby.
Drink me a Baja Blast. Good thing we spent hours fabricating this for me to be unhappy. So y'all know what was going on. My plan originally with getting this out of here was to beef up right into this, where we can put a cross member there so we can build like a wide bone and be able to come over in here. Luckily, that being the plan, this cross member that went across here where we cut it out, that cross member was also part of the factory location for this tank. So she gone. The front mount's still there. Let's get a bolt in the front mount. We can jack up the rear and kind of see what some options are. Little torque on that one blocker up with wood blocks here. That should be pretty close to where it's supposed to be. Of course, we can figure them out off this. I ain't too worried about that. Of course, all this will go back right like it's supposed to, so that's super easy. I more need to look and figure out how can we brace in here and put a tube across there that I'll be happy with. I ain't full got a plan for the suspension, but I'm pretty sure we can make the gas tank work in that spot. So we're just gonna whip up a new rear mount, very similar to how I relocated it, so we're not gonna go too into detail, drill a few holes. Previously we tapped them, this time we're just gonna weld nuts. Be sure to check, I almost welded it with the nuts on the wrong side. That piece will bolt into place and we just whip us up a template. For strength, we want this 1/4 inch thick. Thick, mama! Nothing like welding on gas tanks. Tack our two pieces together. Now we can pull it off, full weld it. She'll be ready to go in. Woo! Ah! She'll hold. Weld it. Just gonna pack her in. Our gas tank is successfully relocated for the second time. Here's the deal, folks. No matter what, I would have cut that cross member out and built something like that, because just cutting the factory stuff off would have looked ugly and tacky. I really like how that looks. We're gonna wait to weld it up. We got to build rear suspension on the small chance we need to adjust something. I don't think that's the case. I'll just feel better about full welding it up with that gas tank out of there, more or less. Packy, 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 pack. Want to get a little strength in them front bed mounts. I don't know if y'all remember, but they were kind of hanging out there like a damn diving board. So I whipped us up a poster board template, just kind of following the shape of that. That squares that off. And when we full weld those, that'll put a ton of strength in that mount. Now our rear ones we built, we don't got to worry about. I managed to kick them off the frame. However, we'd like to get a couple more mounts in there if possible for more support, which is why I've tried to not move the truck, where hopefully from here we can drop the bed straight down and look at some other bed mount options. Let's see what's behind door number 2. Here at the back, real simple, just some 1/4-inch strap clamped into place there will work. Not be strong enough. As far as additional front mount, guys, I can't really decide what I want to do. And I kind of want to wait till I finish up in here in case I got to change some stuff, because all that's going to get pretty tight. I popped her bed up real quick just where I could hook up our gas tank. Couple lines real quick, because I think, in theory, this thing should start. And we have not started it in a while since we've tore the front end all apart. When she was on the lift earlier, I did bolt our exhaust back on, nothing special there. Hopefully, our exhaust leak's gone too if we get her started. Ooh, there she is. She should be pretty dry because we had that lower radiator hose and stuff off. Give her some of that good green stuff. All right. I think it has some fuel in that tank, just not a lot, so she may spit and sputter until she gets fuel again. Not sure I even hear the fuel pump. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! She sounds good. Definitely fixed our exhaust leak. Before it was just pop, 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 pop real loud up here, and I can put my hand back there and definitely feel it. Yes, sir! We did this baby some good this go around. Holy cow. It's actually a lot quieter than I remember too, guys. We're getting so close on this. And it's basically a 92 just base model Toyota pickup, guys. It's gonna run, drive just so good. So good. How bitchin' is it to walk up to it and just look underneath the hood and it looks like that? Now that sounds chattery to me, and I've mentioned that, but y'all said welcome to Toyota. I mean, I ran the valves and stuff, so I don't know what else to do besides run her till she busts. Our air intake, obviously that had to be hooked up so it could read this humdinger where it'd run and everything. I don't know how much of a difference our vacuum for fuel pressure regulator's doing there, but I'm sure it's helping something. And she don't have a thermostat, or she's got a stuck open one because that baby's flowing. I shouldn't have started it, guys. It's like teasing yourself. Man, I wish the rear suspension on this with the drive shaft was in where we could just take her for a rip. We are so close. Swapped S10, better watch out. Oh, kind of shut down a little noisy. It's probably the dang old camshaft. That's what it was. What do you mean clunk clunk? Maybe it's just stuff in here clacking around. I'm sure that's what it is. I remember this thing was real slow to get to temp last time, I thought. And I just assumed that cinder was bad because it was like just a Parks House brand. But now that I went to top it off and I seen it's flowing already, like I said, probably got a stuck thermostat and it's just taking a while to actually heat up. So we'll put that on our to-do of piddly things. Guilty. I had to fire it up again and just come stand over here and appreciate her at idle, I guess. Hell, I don't know. I'm excited, guys. When we worked on this thing last time, I was really bummed out. I told y'all it was my first failed project. That is not true. And it's funny to say this, but literally that bumper changed the total look of this truck to me. It looks like obviously not a whole new truck, but it literally changed the appearance so much. I knew it would some, but not that much. Really surprised myself. Truly, truly surprised. And on this project, like I said from the very get-go, it was a 50-50 if it was gonna work. Half the measurement said it could work, the other half said, you may not want to try that. And I just rolled the dice and went for it. And as we get near completion here, guys, I do not think this is a failed project. Look at that thing. Man, it's gonna be such a cool little runaround truck. That's what's clanking. The bed ain't bolted down. Found it. She needs a little interior work. She needs a little rear suspension work. And guys, we're gonna tackle that soon. Instead of hopping around, I think I just wanna stay on this one until we get her 100% on the road because we're just so close. And all that being said, I was hoping to get my brake pads. I'm being told they're not gonna be in till later. So the front is 94% wrapped up, I would say. As of right now, we need to throw the brake pads on it. I need to grease the ball joints, which I'm gonna wait and do that when I'm in there anyhow. And then other than that, we've got our headlight and turn signal wirings to figure out. And it really ain't much to figure out. It's more of a waiting game for the parts to show up. Much other than that, like I said, I've got some stuff coming for the inside, but next week, I believe we'll be diving into the rear suspension, trying to get that sorted. That's the next real big, last thing to do before it's drivable. We are full steam ahead on this sucker, so I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for being here. puddins.fab.shop. I know I'm usually promoting my merchandise. I kind of took it easy for January, give everyone kind of a break still, but I've got stuff in the works. I don't know if we've released it yet or not. So thank y'all for all the support there over the years. Puddins Fab Shop too. That's the second channel. There's always some stuff going on over there if you ain't seen it, like just doing our TIG torch cart thingy and stuff like that. Always got something going on behind the scenes, so be sure to give us a check out there, or however you word that. I'm on the Instagrammer, I'm on the Facebooker, I'm on the Patreon. So thank y'all so much for helping me make my dreams come true, and I will see y'all in the next one. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project. We'll see y'all in the next one.